How you going? Welcome to another episode of Stumpy's Cards. So today I thought I'd give a quick review of my experiences at the Hobby Hangout today, which was a big trade show at the University of Sydney. And yeah, I just thought I'd give a little bit of feedback on my thoughts and feelings after attending. I have sort of mixed feelings about it. I think overall it was a really good event. It had a really good turnout, big crowd of all ages, from adults, children, families. It was really, really busy. A lot of the stalls were quite actually hard to, see what they had on offer. Because of the crowds. You sort of had to wait your turn and be quite patient. So I think in that sense it was good. It shows the hobbies alive and well in Sydney and throughout Australia. So overall I enjoyed it. Got to see some really awesome cards, some really really rare and expensive cards, LeBron and Kobe one of ones, autos and so forth. And cards that I would probably never be able to afford, but awesome to see them in person. So I enjoyed that side of things. One thing I did notice is the majority of sellers pretty much just had this, I don't know, five or six big names as like 90% of their stock. Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, Steph, Wemby. And then outside of that, the stock was kind of limited. It must show that that's what people are buying and selling in Australia. And, they're focusing on those big names and maybe not so much on, the not superstar players or the old school players and so forth. So I found that was quite interesting. Obviously, they're doing that because, those cards are more fluid. There's going to be more demand and selling of those cards. And, their established names, there's always going to be that demand there where, maybe other young rookies or players that haven't quite made it yet, there's that risk associated. So if they're a legend like LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, Steph, you can't really go wrong. So I can kind of understand it from, that perspective. I suppose the point I'm trying to allude to is there wasn't much Australian basketball players that are in the NBA. Like I found very limited stock of Dyson Daniels, Josh Giddey, Ben Simmons, and so forth. You know, those who've seen my channel before, you might know that I PC Josh Giddey. So yeah, I thought people from Australia would be a bit more patriotic, especially after how well the Aussies did in the Olympics. They played out of their skins and narrowly got knocked out in the end. But yeah, I was surprised by that. I can kind of understand a little bit with Josh Giddey that after the scandal last year, people might be a little bit scared buying his cards. But yeah, I thought that was one thing that was a little bit sad. And then another point, I noticed that a lot of the cards were really, really overpriced. Maybe I noticed this more because I buy a lot of my cards on eBay in the USA and, ship them over through Ship My Cards. And I, have access to better pricing. But yeah, some of the cards I was really shocked by the values. There was a lot of Jar and Zion Williamson stuff there that was still at 2019 prices. So that was quite surprising as well. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. And yeah, another thing to take away too is not just from my experience, but from what I saw, is a lot of dealers seemed very reluctant to trade. So I did see a lot of people approaching dealers for trades, and majority of the time, the dealers weren't interested. And I think a lot of it comes down to they're probably only going to stock the names that are going to sell easily, like the Jordans and the LeBrons and the Steph Currys, Wembys, and so forth, right? So I don't know. For me, I found it a little bit weird because first and foremost, I'm a collector, and it is a hobby, right? You have a business that it's built on a hobby, and there's the spirit of that hobby is about collecting and sharing the enjoyment and so forth. You still want to get the best value for your card. You still want to get the best trade you can, but I don't know. a little bit of a weird feeling after, seeing all these deals not happen. I approached a few dealers myself. I offered them, straight trades. I offered them trades in cash and also trades, sealed product in cash. And majority of them weren't interested. And, I had some decent cards. And I was also offering at times, if it was a card that I liked, even though I knew that it might be overpriced, for my PC or whatever, I was still offering much higher trade value than their overpriced card. And yeah, they just, didn't really want to come to the party or, meet halfway or, do partial trades and so forth. So I thought that was a little sad. For me, that's not in line with the spirit of the hobby. And it sort of left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Like, you can tell the dealers who are, collectors, but sort of, not just collectors, but sort of, they love the hobby and they, are stoked on other people collecting and being happy and so forth. And then, the ones that are just there for a profit, they stand out like a sore thumb. And I don't know, a little sad to see. I know money makes the world go round, but I would have like to see a bit more in good faith sort of trades along those lines. So yeah, that was a little disappointing. There were some dealers that I approached for trades, and I'd purchase quite often from them online on eBay or from their online stores, and they they weren't even like, some of them wouldn't even look at my cards. Give me the time of day, and I was just like, well, what's up with that? So yeah, so that's one takeaway that I found was a little bit disappointing. That I suppose it's the nature of the game. If people are in it for the money, then they're looking. I don't know, it just felt like they're looking more worried about their bottom line or maximizing their profit, than sort of helping somebody out just a little bit. That wouldn't really affect them, but it is what it is. Anyway, just a few quick pickups that I've got after that little rant. So yeah, for my PC, I got a nice National Treasures Steven Adams rookie patch, and that's a sneaker patch. So I probably overpaid for this one, but look at that, it's a nice thick card. They don't come up every day. Yeah, so had to get something Steven Adams. I wanted to get some Josh Giddey stuff, but a lot of it was quite overpriced for what it was. And then, yeah, picked up a couple of blasters here, Mosaic and Phoenix, just to do some, rips for the channel. And also the one trade that I was able to get done. Nice, easy trade. I just wanted a hanger. I had a few optic hangers. And I was like, I'll trade you an optic hanger for this and pay the difference. And, I topped them up with a little bit of cash. And that was SJ2K. So sj2k.com. Yeah, they hooked me up. There was no skin off their nose. They were still going to, make money at the end of the day. They've got $10 in the, $10-15 extra in the bank, plus, the money they'll make selling the hanger. Where, I did approach a couple of dealers trying to do a similar thing, even with offering them more trade value than what they were selling, and they didn't want to have a bar of it. So, for me, just leaves a bit of a sour taste in your mouth, and I might not approach those retailers again. So anyway, enough of that.